Amazingly enough, it's not really going into the garbage can. No big deal. I guess we'll just vacuum later. So I'm going to try to taper it down to the tip. I'm going to leave a little bit proud so I can put the high sol over the top of it and some super fill and make it all nice and smooth. I've never used the super fill, but I think it's like a Bondo. I've heard about it as a kid, but never used it. Take a look at the other side. That side's got a little bit of a square edge to it yet. I don't want it to be proud of the piece here, the fiberglass or the rib. I did on the horizontal stabilizer, and what I found is after I put the high sol on it and I had all the ridges after it dried because it's hard to get the high sol smooth, I basically sanded down through it again down to the foam block. So I think if I keep the foam block a little bit, sure, the opposite of proud, but if I keep it a little bit less than my overlapping material when I put my 9460 on there to give it some strength, and then I go over the top of it with the super fill to give it its nice final shape, I won't be sanding through material that I had to work to apply. I think this will just be a little easier. So this is just kind of filler. All right, fills in there. A little bit not proud. I'll look that up here in a second. And I might take this back just a little bit too so I can bring some high sol in there and leave a little tiny bit of room for some super fill. Kind of looks like a beluga whale, maybe. Anyway, I think it's got a pretty good shape to it overall. Like I said, it's a base, so it doesn't have to be perfect unless you're into that. Some people use balsa wood. I chose the foam. I think balsa wood pretty much would have been similar. This is obviously very crushable. You can crush it in your fingers. So balsa wood's a little bit harder, but you're still covering it with something. And if you hit this with some metal or something, if you're pushing your plane in or out of the hangar, you're going to dent it, whether it's balsa wood or a foam block covered in high sol. Anyway, I'm going to vacuum up here a little bit, and then we'll mix up some high sol and stick this one on. I actually lied about the high sol. Instead of mixing that up right now, I'm going to form the one for the vertical stabilizer. Then we can high sol 2 at one time. So let's move back here. The vertical stabilizer tip. All right, there she is in all her glory. I will probably need a ladder because I'm short, or the plane is tall. I'll say the plane is tall. And on this one, since I don't have any spare blocks, I'll grab a full one. Now I probably should have used this last piece back there because that one's shorter than the front. In fact, for fun, I'm just going to see if any of these pieces will fit. Why am I trying to save a foam block? I don't know. Okay, that's... Honestly, those probably could work. I could fill that in with super fill. But we'll go with one piece since we have it. And I have another full one over there. So we'll stamp that guy in there, probably off to the side, again to save some block, and form it up, but I'm gonna probably carry it from about the point where it reaches the tip there, and I'm proud here with my 9460, so that's gonna have to come off. And that stuff doesn't sand off very easily at all. In fact, I was using a raspy side of one of my woodworking chisels, which isn't the best idea, but it actually worked quite well. So I'll probably do the same thing up here while I'm up here, so I don't have to do it later. Give it a little indentation in the back here, and a little bit on the tube. Okay, I'll trace some lines on it and we'll continue. Turn that fan off. Probably don't need to go all the way to the front. Do it anyway. And take out for the tube. Kind of have some bat ears on the end. It's like Batman's night profile. You can use just about any tool you want on these. Did you notice that too? I'm taking it off the bottom side and not the top. So let's go ahead and make those indentions here in the bottom. Oops. That'll help kind of remind me which side I'm working on. All right, we'll go test fit it. See how she fits. Oops. That looks pretty good, I think. Almost like you paid somebody to make that for your airplane. All right, we'll go up and test fit it again. Worried about taking it down too much lower than the one that I made for the rudder. Not, because again, super fill. 9460 on top of that. Strengthen it up a little bit. Let's go test it. I could take some out of the inside of the front there a little bit, and I think I kind of like the way it transitions down to the profile. So good in the back, and on the sides I just need to take some out of the center a little bit, right in as the tube comes in. So I'll pause here for a second, because I'm sure you want to watch me do this. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and that little tiny bell for notifications if you haven't already done so. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.